today I got a request in, which, as you know, I love. So this live stream is going to be focused on what I would call just general lower backache, totally not specific. So we're not talking about any disc issues or any other spinal complications. This is just when your back aches if you've been standing or walking too long. And yeah, this is what kind of often gets referred to as general lumbago. So just a non-specific general lower backache. That's what we're going to try and have a little look at today, work out why this happens and what you can do to make sure that the lower back is supported as much as possible if you are kind of walking around museums, going out, you know, sightseeing, whatever, blah, 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 that you don't get that general lower backache. Okay, so we're going to start off just warming gently up with the hips, okay, to keep the lower back as pain-free as possible, as ache-free as possible. You've got to look also at what's going on with thighs, with hips, with glutes, and the abdominal wall here, especially the lower part of the abdominal wall, the core, your core that sits here, front and back, right down here roughly, and how all these muscles can work together in a team to support your lower back. So it's not just the superficial lower back muscles doing all the work. So let's just sit down first, okay, and we're just going to do a little bit to kind of slowly mobilize the hips. So let's just drop the knees over to one side, and then we're going to bring them back into the middle, and we're going to drop them over the other way, and then back into the middle, and again drop, and into the middle, and again drop, and into the middle, and again drop, and into the middle. Okay, let's do one more drop, and into the middle. Okay, so still sitting. Don't worry if you can't get totally straight with the spine. If that's a bit uncomfortable, don't worry about it. But, you know, sitting fairly straight. We're going to put feet together, knees together, and we're just going to let the knees gently fall out to the side, and then back into the middle, and again gently fall out and back into the middle. So let's just keep doing this a few more times. And if you're just jumping onto this stream now, this stream, it's for general lower backache, yeah, not specific spinal issues, discs or anything else, or arthritis, but just when you feel that if you've been walking around town too long and the lower back starts to ache a little bit, or if sometimes if you bend down and it feels a bit tight, this is what we're going to try and look at today in this stream. Okay, let's do a few more of these. Okay, opening the knees and then back, and one more, and then back. Okay, so quickly coming up to standing again, and as I explained, if you're just jumping on, I'll explain again. If you have, or if you are getting general lower backache around here, we can't just look at the lower back itself. We have to look a little bit further. We have to look at strength in the quads, definitely in the hamstrings, in the glutes. We've got to make sure that the core here is nice and strong, and the abdominal wall. So all these guys are also working as a team to help support your lower back in normal everyday life. Okay, so I'm going to tilt my camera down a little bit lower. All right, still playing around with camera angles on this. So let's lie down, guys. And what we're going to do next is take the hands onto the hips. And again, we're still just going to slowly mobilize the hips here. So we're going to pick one foot up. I'm going to tap the heel just to the inside of my knee, just a little above, and put it back. Let's do 10 times on the right leg. So tap. And I'm going to make sure as I do this that I keep my pelvis fairly still and stable, so there's not too much movement there. So just tapping the heel of the foot just above the knee. I think that's about 5. So let's do 5 more of these. 5, 4, 3, 2, and And last one. Okay, so we do that on the left. That was 10. So off we go. We're going to tap and open. Yeah. So this is an easy, gentle warm up, guys, to address tight, achy lower backs, non-specific lower backache. Sometimes this is referred to as general lumbago. So we're not talking about disc issues or any other spinal health issues. This is just for general lower backache. And there's a whole load of big, useful, helpful muscles that are there and are good to recruit if you want to keep your lower back as pain and achy free throughout the day. All right, let's do 2 more of these. I have lost count, but let's do 2 more. Okay, and last one. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hug one leg into my chest. I'm going to bring it right in as much as I can. And this should feel quite relaxing if the lower back is a little bit tight today. So let's just hold it here. We're going to take some nice deep breaths. And as you do that, just feel the lower back relaxing, maybe gently lengthening out as well. Okay, let's stay for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so swapping legs over. Let's bring the other leg in. We're just going to hug it in. And you might feel it's a little bit different on the left, on the right. Don't worry about that. That's normal. When we reduce those differences between left and right, then normally the lower back is a little bit more pain-free, a little bit less achy. Okay, taking some deep breaths, and we're going to stay for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so still working into the hips. Of course, the close proximity to the lower back means that sometimes what people think is a lower back thing can be a hip thing, and vice versa. So let's carry on with the hips for now. We're going to lie on the side, and we're just going to do 20 clamshells. So I've got the heels of my feet roughly in line with my spine, and I'm just going to lift that knee up and down. Again, I'm going to try to keep the pelvis pretty still. And what this is doing is it's further mobilizing the hip joint, and it's getting just a little bit of blood around that hip and lower pelvic area. Okay, that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so by the end of that set, I could feel it pumping a little bit in the outside of the hip, which is a good thing. So let's do that on the other side. That was 20. We'll take the hands on the hip and keep the pelvis still. Off we go. We're going to lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, keep going, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and last one, 20. And again, I could feel it a little bit in the back there. All right, so for the next exercise, what I'm going to try to do is put my camera a little bit higher. Okay, going to tilt it a little bit more so you get more of a bird's eye view of what I'm doing, because this next bit is pretty important, guys. Yeah. What we need to do now is get the core working. So the core is this area here. It's right deep in here. It's comprised of a few different muscles that work all day long on a low frequency. And if they're not really working, if they're not really doing their job as much, then the more superficial layer of lower back muscle tends to take over. So in order to get these guys working, we need to breathe, yeah? So the next exercise, we're just going to have one hand on the belly here, and we're going to start some breathing. I'm going to keep my hands here behind my head, but you don't have to. So what we're going to do is take an inhale with the nose, and we're going to exhale out through the mouth. Inhaling with the nose, and exhaling with the mouth. So keep going with this, guys. Keep inhaling with your nose and exhaling with the mouth. And I'm just going to give you a few little instructions to layer into that. So when you take an exhale, on your next exhale, imagine you've got a straw in your mouth and that you're blowing out, exhaling out down through a straw. That's going to give you a slightly forced exhale. And as you do that exhale, you should feel very gently that your hand that's here down on the lower bit of your abdominal wall is just gently dropping down. If the hand is gently dropping down as you exhale out through that imaginary straw, then there's a very good chance that you've got one of your deep core muscles, the biggest one actually, working. And that's what we want, yeah? So let's carry on with this. Inhaling with the nose. Exhaling with the mouth. And one more. Inhaling with the nose. And exhaling with the mouth. Okay, so if you've not done that type of breathing exercise before, it is a good one to start practicing now. Ideally, we want to do that sort of breathing exercise for most of the exercises we're going to do today. But the caveat is, don't worry if you get it wrong. If right now all you can manage is to follow the movement, brilliant, just stick with that. But just so you know that all the exercises we do will become much more effective for lower backache if you can get that breathing in as well. So let's just do it one more time just to make sure it's really solidified in our heads, or at least theoretically. We're going to take an inhale with the nose and an exhale through a straw. Inhaling and exhaling. Two more. Inhaling and exhaling. And one more. Inhaling and exhaling. All right, so I'm going to put my hands on the mat now, and we're just going to do some leg lifts. And if you can, we're going to do that breathing pattern. So let's take an inhale to prepare. On the exhale, we're lifting one leg up to tabletop. Inhale, put it back down. Then swap. Exhale, lift. Inhale, back. 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 Let's do two more. Exhale, lift. Inhale, back. Last one. Exhale, lift. Inhaling back. Okay, so staying with the focus, with the breathing in this lower part of the abdominal wall. Okay, we're going to keep the hands on the hips for this one. Stretch the right leg forwards. My foot is flexed. I'm going to keep this leg strong. Lifting the leg on the exhale, I want to feel that my belly is gently pushing down into my lower back. So let's take an inhale and then exhaling, lift. Inhaling back. Exhaling, lift. Inhaling back. Exhaling, lift. Inhaling back. Exhaling, lift. Inhaling back. Let's do four more. Exhaling, lift. Inhaling back. Exhaling, lift. Inhaling back. Two more. Exhaling, lift. Inhaling back. One more. Exhaling, lift. Inhaling back. Okay, so we're going to swap legs over. Let's do that on the left. So we'll take an inhale and exhaling, lift. Inhaling back. Exhaling, lift. Inhaling back. Exhaling, lift. Inhaling back. exhaling, lift, inhaling back, exhaling, lift, inhaling back, exhaling, lift, inhaling back. Let's do 2 more, exhaling, lift, inhaling back, 1 more, exhaling, lift, inhaling back. All right, we're going to take both feet back on the mat now, and we're going to do something that's often referred to in Pilates as imprint. If you're not sure what that is, there is a tutorial on this channel called What the Hell is Imprint that breaks it down nicely, but I'm going to explain it in simple terms now. We're going to be using the breathing as well. So we're going to take an inhale, and then on the exhale, you want to feel that you're pulling your lower belly through or sucking it in to your lower back. Once you've got that strong, we're going to lift one leg up in the air and then the other leg up in the air, and we're going to stay here. So let's put the hand back on the belly again, and every exhale you want to feel the hand drop down. So let's take an inhale, and on the exhale feel that hand gently drop down, and again inhaling and exhaling. Remember, if you can, you're going to exhale out through a straw. So inhaling and exhaling, inhaling and exhaling. Keep going, guys. Inhaling and exhaling, inhaling and exhaling. Let's do 2 more. Inhaling and exhaling, and 1 more. Inhaling and exhaling. Okay, relax the legs down. We're going to go, I'm just going to move myself a bit. Oh, that's a bit better. Okay, we're going to get back into that imprinted position again. And the next time we're going to do it, we're going to do a little small movement left and right with the knees. This is all to wake up, to pump and to strengthen the core. This area down in here, really deep around the spine. So let's go. We're going to take an inhale, and on the exhale again, you want to feel like you're pulling your lower belly, sucking it in through to the lower back. We're going to lift one leg up in the air. We're going to lift the other leg up in the air, and let's keep the legs together. So let's take an inhale, and on the exhale, you want to take the knees just a few centimeters over to one side, and then bring them back into the middle. And the other way, exhaling over, inhaling back, exhaling over, inhaling back. Keep going, exhaling over, inhaling back, exhaling over, inhaling back, exhaling over, inhaling back. We're going to do 2 more. Exhaling over, inhaling back. Last one. Exhaling over, inhaling back. So from here, let's just bring both legs into the chest. We're just going to hug them in, and we're going to do a very nice little gentle, what I call a back opener. Yeah, so for that one, guys, let's roll round onto the right shoulder. Yeah, so I've got my knees quite high up here. I'm lying on the right shoulder, back of the head on the floor. Right hand is going to push down on top of the knees here. We're going to stretch the left arm up to the ceiling. Let's take an inhale, and on the exhale, you're going to follow that hand and take it all the way to the floor if you can, opening the rib cage as well as you go, and then inhale, bring it back. Let's do that 3 more times. So a nice big exhale to open the arm to the floor, and then we're going to bring it back. And again, opening to the floor, and then bringing it back. Okay, let's do it one last time. Opening to the floor, and then bringing it back. Okay, so we'll roll round, and we'll do that on the left shoulder now. So that was roughly 4 times. Pushing down with the left hand on the knees, stretching the right arm up to the ceiling. Let's take an inhale, and then exhaling, open, inhaling back, exhaling, open, inhaling back, exhaling, open, inhaling back. Let's do 1 more. Exhaling, open, inhaling back. All right, guys. So what I think we've fairly successfully done so far is really warm up this lumbar pelvic region. Now it makes sense to mobilize it a little bit. Okay. So what we're going to do next, and this is where it does change from general lower backache to if you've got a specific spinal or disc issue. I wouldn't recommend this if for people who have got disc issues, but if you've got general lower backache, then this one's fine. I'm going to do it sideways, I think. So we're just going to take the hands underneath the knees here, and we just want to move the lower back nice and easy. So that just means curving the pelvis under and rocking back, and then coming forwards again. Curving the pelvis under and rocking back, and then forwards. And let's now add in that same breathing pattern. Yeah, the exhaling through an imaginary straw as you rock back, and an inhale to bring you forwards. So an exhale here, inhaling forwards. Exhaling, inhaling forwards. Exhaling, inhaling forwards. Exhaling, inhaling forwards. Let's do 3 more of these, guys. So exhale to rock back, inhaling forwards. Exhale to rock back, inhaling forwards. All right, let's do 2 more. Exhale to rock back, inhaling forwards. All right, last one. Exhale to rock back, inhaling forwards. Okay, so coming back to that position we had right at the top of the stream. Feet together, knees together. Let the knees fall open. This time we'll take a little roll down through the spine. So let's drop the head. Just drop the head to roll down easy through the neck, upper back, middle back, all the way down. Let's just stay here for 4 deep breaths. We'll take an inhale and exhale, inhaling and exhaling, inhaling and exhaling. All right, 1 more, guys. Inhaling and exhaling. All right, so rolling slowly back up through the spine. Okay, good. Let's go on to the stomach next. The next exercise is super weird, but I think is maybe one of the most effective basic Pilates exercises that I learned, especially when it comes to just waking up the glutes, pumping blood in around the lumbar pelvic region. It's this one, guys. We're going to lie on our stomachs with the legs bent. The knees are near the edge of the mat here, and I've got my feet flexed. So what I want to do in this position is just push the heels of my feet as hard as I can together, and then fully relax. Don't have your head up like I just did, by the way. Keep the head down, otherwise it's a bit much for the lower back. So let's do it again with the breathing. You're going to take an inhale, and on the exhale, you're going to squeeze the heels of the feet as much as you can together, and then inhale, you're going to fully relax. So exhale to squeeze, inhale to relax. Keep going, guys. Exhaling, squeeze, inhale, relax. Exhaling, squeeze, inhale, relax. Exhaling, squeeze, inhale, relax. Exhaling, squeeze, inhale, relax. Let's do 2 more. Exhaling, squeeze, inhale, relax. 1 more. Exhaling, squeeze, inhale, relax. Okay, so we're just going to drop up or pop up even into an easy cat stretch. So I've got wrists under shoulders and knees under hips here, guys. And I'm just going to drop the head and curl the pelvis under. And let's hold it here. We're going to stay for 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, come all the way through to a long flat back. And then we're going to do that 1 more time. So drop the head, curl the pelvis under. And we're going to hold it here for 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And come all the way through. All right, so from here, we're going to put the toes together. Take the knees a little bit wider to the edge of the mat, and we're just going to stretch all the way back to here. So lengthening out through the spine, reaching the fingers forwards. And then what I always like to do with this one is to take it around the corner, yeah? So to walk the hands off the mat and round to one side. Then you'll get a gentle little stretch down one side of the back. Okay, we come back into the middle and we're going to go around the other way and another gentle stretch into the other side of the back. Okay, back into the middle again, and we're going to roll up gently through the spine, nice and easy, vertebra for vertebra. All right, so we're going to carry on now working into the legs and the hips. At the top of the stream, I mentioned that if you are suffering a little bit with like a general lower backache, you've got to look at the thighs, the hamstring, and also what the glutes are doing as well. And this next exercise is one of those Pilates exercises. It doesn't matter what your issue is, this one nearly always gets put in, and it nearly always gets used for people who either have got like even a disc out to people that are 9 months pregnant. This is a really good one to do. This is called the side leg lift series. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Keep the hand on the mat for all of this. We're going to do 8 in each section. It's fairly easy to follow. I will cue the breathing, but don't forget, if the breathing goes out the window, don't worry about it right now. Just carry on with the movement. So we're going to inhale, point and lift the leg. Exhale, flex and put it down. Inhale, point. Exhale, flex. Inhale, point. Exhale, flex. Inhale, point. Exhale, flex. 4 more. Inhale, point. Exhale, flex. Inhale, point. Exhale, flex. Inhale, point. Exhale, flex. Inhale, point. Exhale, flex. So next up, we're going to do 8 circles in each direction. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the other way, keep them small. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so let's keep that leg up there. We're going to squeeze the bottom leg up to join it, and then they come down together. So we're going to go inhale, exhaling down, inhaling, exhaling down. Top leg, bottom leg, down together. 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 2 more times. Top leg, bottom leg, down together. Top leg, bottom leg, down together. So the last section, we're going to take an inhale to prepare. On the exhale, we're going to lift both legs up. Inhale, back. Exhale, lift. 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 Inhale, back. All right, let's do that on the other side. Okay, if you're familiar with this exercise, you want to do any of the sections with the arm along the leg, be my guest. Yeah, so let's start nice and straight, guys. The first one is point and flex. So we're going to inhale, point, exhale, flex. 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 Okay, lift the top leg, 8 small circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're going to keep that top leg up there, squeeze up the bottom leg and exhale them down together. So it's top leg, bottom leg, exhale. 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 Keep going. Top leg, bottom leg, exhale. Top leg, bottom leg, exhale. Top leg, bottom leg, exhale. Last one. Top leg, bottom leg, exhale. So last section, we're going to inhale to prepare and exhale, lift. Inhale, back. 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 exhale, lift, inhale, back, exhale, lift, inhale, back, exhale, lift, inhale, back. All right, relax, guys. Very good. Okay, so what we're going to do next is we're going to get into that imprinted position again like we did earlier. So we're going to pull the belly through to the lower back. We're going to lift the legs up in the air. We're going to lift the head up as well this time. We're going to stay up there a little bit longer, so it's a bit more of a dynamic workout for higher up the abdominal wall as well as the core and lower down in the abdominal wall. All right, so I think I'll do this one this way around. All right, so don't forget, we want to pull the belly through to the lower back to get everything strong here. So let's take an inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to pull the belly through into the lower back. We're going to lift one leg up to tabletop. We're going to lift the other leg up if you can. Keep the legs together. Okay, we're going to take an inhale. On the exhale, let's lift the head up. And we're going to stretch the arms forwards. Let's stay here for 8 breaths. We're going to take an inhale. And exhale. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. So keep going, guys. Every time you exhale, you should be able to see the belly drop down. That's where you're looking, yeah? You want to see it drop down as you exhale. Let's do 2 more. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. All right, let's put the head, shoulders, arms back down. Okay, so even at the end there, and I do Pilates abdominals actually probably about 5 times a week, I was getting a shake. That's a super basic Pilates exercise. That's imprint, legs up in tabletop, head up. That's all it was. But when it's done really properly, with that breathing pattern, with the focus, the mindfulness, that on your exhale, you want to feel like you're really sucking your lower belly into your lower back. Oh my God. You shake. It's absolutely brilliant. But what is that shake? That's just like muscle strengthening and working. It's not a sign that you're not strong enough. It's a sign to let that happen. If you can hold into that shake and let that be pain-free, that's a good thing. So let's just bring one leg into the chest. We're going to hold it here for 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we'll swap legs over. Bring the left leg in for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, good. All right, guys. So we're going to go back to looking at glutes and hamstrings next. So yeah, let's start off nice and easy. We're going to do shoulder bridges. Yeah. So shoulder bridges are not hip rolls. Yeah. They look very similar, but they are not. A hip roll would be, guys, curving the pelvis under and rolling up that way. It's a great exercise, but that's not what we're doing right now. What we want to do is just hinge up from hip to shoulder by using a lot of hamstrings. And you do use a little bit of glutes as well. I read something the other day saying that you don't use glutes in this exercise. Well, I definitely do. You've got to be a bit more conscious that you're really going to squeeze them. But that's what we're doing. So let's keep going with this. You can lift up as high as you want, really, but you don't want to lift up so high that it's uncomfortable on the lower back. So what we're not going for is that, yeah, that even hurt my lower back a bit. So I'm not going to demonstrate it again, but this is what we're going for, guys. Yeah, it's a squeeze of the glutes and up, yeah, and you want to feel it firing, pumping. Maybe even some of you get a little bit crampy in the hamstring as you do this. If that happens, just stop, shake the leg out a little bit, and then we'll carry on. Okay, so just take a little break, give the knees a little bit of a shake. We're going to do one more set of that. Let's do this. We're going to do 10 shoulder bridges. Yeah, that's just squeezing up and down. The 10th one, we're going to stay up. We're going to hold it for 10 seconds. Okay, so let's go. We're going to take an inhale and exhale, lift, inhale, exhale, lift, inhale, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and let's stay up in 10, holding it here for 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, one, and down you come. Okay, so remember, healthy, pain and achy free lower backs will always come together with strong glutes, strong hamstrings. Some of you might say, yeah, but my hamstrings are really tight. I know I have to stretch them out. Of course, this is an important part of looking after the lower back. If the hamstrings are very tight, then it will pull and it can be problematic for lower backs. But there has to be the right time to do that. If your hamstrings are tight, they're going to be weak as well. If the muscle is weak and tight, with the best will in the world, with a million stretches, not that much improvement will happen. But if you pump it first with an exercise like this, and we are going to do it one more time, guys. If you pump it first, you start to strengthen it, you start to pump blood there, then it can make sense to then start to stretch it. But stretching cold muscle or trying to just only stretch weak muscle, you're going to have a very, very limited amount of improvement. All right, so let's go. Second set, 10 seconds. We'll take an inhale and exhale, lift, inhale back, exhale, lift, inhale back, exhale, lift, inhale back, exhale, lift, inhale back, exhale, lift, inhale, good, 5 more, exhale, lift, inhale back, exhale, lift, inhale back, exhale, lift, inhale back, 2 more, exhale, lift, inhale back, last one, exhale, lift, inhale back. Okay, so we're going to do one of the easiest, most gentle hamstring stretches there is, and it's this one. We're just going to link the fingers together behind here, flex the foot, and you're just going to push the heel up towards the ceiling and then bring it back down. Don't worry if that leg is not straight, and don't make the aim of the stretch to get it straight. The aim of this is to feel a stretch anywhere down the hamstring. That's what you want to go for. The other thing as well, if the hamstrings are particularly tight and you take the leg up, don't let the back of the pelvis leave the mat. Keep the back of the pelvis down, even if that means that you can't straighten your leg as much. Like I said, the aim of this is not to get a straight leg. The aim of this is to feel a stretch here in the back of the leg. All right, let's do 2 more, and then we're going to swap to the other leg. Okay, good. So on the other leg, we're going to link the fingers behind, flex that foot, and we're going to push up. Okay, so my left hamstring, definitely tighter than the right. I really notice it. It always takes a few more of these stretches before I can really feel it open up a little bit. And I also know that it's not just tight on my left hamstring, it's also a little bit weaker. So again, those two things often go together. Weakness and tightness, especially when we're talking about the hamstring. All right, guys, let's do 2 more of these. Good, and last one. Okay, good. All right, so we're going to look at now at doing some stuff on all fours. Yeah, there's a great exercise on all fours, especially for lower back and stability as well, where we're on all fours and we're going to reach the opposite arm and leg off the mat. Yeah, so as we do that, guys, you don't want to lift the leg too high. You want to keep the leg about hip height, and you want to lift the arm high enough that you can feel it working in and around the shoulder blade, into the back a little bit there, upper back that is. So let's go. Let's do about 8 of these. We're going to take an inhale to prepare, and on the exhale, we're going to stretch the opposite arm and leg off the floor. And then on the inhale, we're going to put it back. Then we'll swap to the other side and back. And again, lift 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 and back. Let's do 2 more, and lift and back. The last one, we're going to lift and we're going to hold it here for 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, then we'll do that on the other side. So arm and leg forwards and back, holding it here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Okay, so come off the hands a second, give them a little bit of a shake. Okay, and then we're going to do that one more time, guys. So with keeping the lower back nice and healthy, you don't need a million different exercises to do that. You just need some that you feel really confident with, that you know what their target muscles are, that you know what the breathing pattern is, and just stick to those and it'll make a big difference. So let's do that one more time. Opposite arm and leg, guys. Okay, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. We're going to take an inhale and exhale, reach. Inhale back. 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 Exhale, reach. Inhale 2 more times. Exhale, reach. Inhale back. Last one. Exhale, reach and stop for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And on the other side, reaching it forwards and back for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax. All right, guys, give the hands another little shake. And then what I'm going to try next, I've not tried before on a stream. I'm going to stand up and we're going to look at some squats. And there's a lot of different ways to squat, and a lot of them are great for a lot of people. It might be that there's some clients I have, not that many, but some clients I cannot squat at all. It goes against their kind of health profile, different problems they've got in their body, and squats do not work, yeah? But most people can squat, and it's about finding the right squat for you. We're going to look at maybe one, well, definitely one, maybe two today that work for most of my clients in the studio. And for that, you don't have to, but I'm going to grab 2 books that are the same height, because that increases a range of movement, which is useful. Remember, squats, when done properly, are very, very good for glutes, thighs, and also core. So for that, I think I'm going to tilt the camera up a little bit. Let's see how this goes, guys. Not done this before on a stream. So I'm going to grab 2 books. Luckily, I've got a bookshelf behind me. All right. Okay, and I'm going to turn my mat the other way around, I think. All right, so the first lot of squats we're going to look at, actually I can tilt that up a little bit more, are what I call sumo squats, yeah? And again, squats don't have to be effective only if you're doing it with weights. This is rubbish, yeah? Don't forget, we're using body weight here. So if you haven't got any weights, it doesn't matter. Anyway, the heaviest weights I'm using at the moment myself for these squats are 5 kilos. So that's not that much. But we're going to do it without weights. And I'm going to put my books, about that far apart. Okay. With my heels up on these books, that's going to allow me to have a fuller range of movement. It's like, if there's ladies doing this, it's a little bit like the same as if you bend down to pick something up with heels on, or if you're bending down to pick something up with flats. It's a little bit easier to bend down and pick something up with heels on, yeah? Okay, so getting the books there. I've got my heels on the books, and I'm just going to fold my hands in front of me here. So sumo squats, guys, I've got my toes slightly open, and I want to make sure that my knees are going to go in the same direction as my toes as I sit down. The breathing pattern I always get people to do for this is an inhale to sit down and an exhale to stand up. All right, so let's give it a go. We're going to inhale, sit down, exhale, stand up. 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 Let's do 5 more. Inhale, sit down, exhale, stand up. Inhale, sit down, exhale, stand up. Inhale, sit down, exhale, stand up. 2 more, inhale, sit down, exhale, stand up. Last one, inhale, sit down, exhale, stand up. Okay, I'm going to come off the books and relax a little bit. So a lot of how your spine sits when you do these squats really depends on how much kind of mobility you've got in your hips. When I sit down, I'm going to show you next sideways, I do take my spine forwards just a little bit. Yeah, so I take my spine forwards a little bit, but I'm keeping it absolutely straight. I'm not curving my lower back under as I sit down. So for the next set, guys, I think that was about 10 that we did. So let's do 10 more. For the next set, I'm going to do it in profile, and then you can see on me how it works. That might not mean that that's exactly how your spine should do it as well. Yeah. If you feel that as you're squatting down that your knees are hurting, don't go as low. If you find that when you're squatting down that you're having to take your spine almost horizontal, then again, don't go as deep. It could be right now that your hips are only ready to do little mini squats. That's totally fine, yeah. So let's do second set, guys. All right, so I'm going to fold my hands in front of my chest here. I have got a little bit of power in the middle back, but let's not worry about that now. Okay, and off we go. So I'm going to inhale, sit down. Exhale, stand up. Inhale, sit down. And as you see, as I do this, yeah, I do take my pelvis slightly back, just a little bit. I'm making sure that my knees go in the same direction as my feet, rather than forwards. And as I go down, I can feel the inner thigh. As I stand up, I'm squeezing the glutes, yeah. So for me, this squat feels very much like an inner thigh and glute workout, as well as an active mobilization workout for my hips. Let's do 3 more. Again, I've totally lost count. Pilates teachers totally can't count at all. Let's do last one. And then up. All right. So you might even hear my heart rate's gone up a little bit, which is another benefit of doing squats. Yeah, it's actually a good, healthy squat technique, which is pain-free, especially pain-free for knees and lower back. We'll get the heart rate up. It's actually a cardio exercise, so healthy legs often correspond with a healthier heart as well. Okay, so that's what I call a sumo squat. We're going to do another one now that honestly is a little bit harder. We just need 1 book for this. And I don't know what other people call this. I just call this a forward back one. Target muscles for this next squat are just the muscles on the front leg. And it's just the hamstring and into the glute a little bit as well, but an awful lot for the hamstring. You can do this so you target the quad as well, but the version we're going to do is just going to target the hamstring. So I'm going to turn my mat round again, and I think this is probably best to look at sideways. Just to let you know, guys, I'm pretty shitty at squatting. It took me quite a long time, embarrassingly, to get these squats right. Yeah, it took me a long time. I made a couple of mistakes. I'd often feel it too much in the quad, not enough in the back leg, all these things. The biomechanics of it I found quite hard. And the biomechanics, or the movement of a good squat, is one of the hardest things for the body to coordinate. Yeah. So let's give this one a go. Book is forwards, and the target muscles are on this leg here, my leg that's out in front. I've got the heel on that book just for a fuller range of movement. So where I want to feel it, this is where I want to target, because I know this is weaker on me, is the back of the leg for this one. The back leg I'm going to take behind me, and I'm going to try to forget about it as much as possible. I'm going to relax the knee, the heel is lifted up, it's just there for a little bit of support. And then I want to take my pelvis from vertical to diagonal. So that is essentially tilting my pelvis back, folding my arms here. I can already feel that working a little bit. So let's go. I'm going to inhale, sit down, and then exhale, stand up. Inhale, sit down. And this is where I'm pushing from. Inhale, sit down. Exhale, stand up. Inhale, sit down. Exhale, stand up. Inhale, sit down. So keep going, guys. We're going to do 5 more. And as you can see, I'm trying to keep everything from my knee to my ankle fairly still and stable. It's not wrong if the knee does move, but then it's going to target the quad at the front more. And like I said, what I want to do with this is get the back of my leg working. Let's do 1 more. Inhale, sit down. Exhale, stand up and relax. Whew. Again, heart rate's gone up a bit. I actually hate doing these. I do these 3 times a week. I do 25 on each leg with 5 kilos 3 times a week. I never enjoy doing it, but it has made my legs and my calf muscles and my feet as well, weirdly, all much, much, much stronger. Yeah, so it's worth doing. All right, so I've got my left leg forwards now. This is definitely my weaker one. This is going to be a bit more challenging. I'm going to take that foot behind. Remember, you want to relax that back leg as much as possible. Try to disconnect a little bit from it. It's the hamstring on this forwards leg that we want to do. We're going to fold the arms in front, tilt the pelvis back on the diagonal. We're going to slowly sit down on the inhale and exhale, stand up. Inhaling and up. Inhaling and up. Inhaling and up. Inhaling and up. 5 more, guys. Inhale down, exhale up. Inhale down, exhale up. Inhale down, exhale up. 2 more. Inhale down, exhale up. Inhale down, exhale up. Whew. And relax. Okay, I'm always happy when that one's over. All right. So those are 2 fairly healthy squats that not all my clients can do. Not everybody can do these. If they've got knee problems or other issues that it doesn't work out, these are not always the best solution. But I would say about 80% definitely can. So if these are 2 versions that you find you can target the muscles that you wish and at the same time have pain-free knees and lower back, then really try to add these in every week to your weekly workout. All right, so we've come to that bit of the stream where we're going to do a little bit of stretching. Okay, and for lower backs, I still think that the piriformis stretch is one of the most useful ones to do. Okay, and I think this one often works best on streaming purposes if I've got my head the other way. All right, that's what I'm going to do. All right, so we're lying down on the back. Okay. Ooh, I'm off to one side a bit. Oh, move my mat across. All right. Lying down on the mat, both feet on the floor. We're going to take the right leg over the left leg. Okay. We're going to fold the legs into the chest. Take the right hand through the middle. If you can get it on top here, brilliant. If not, then behind. And the other one's going to link in and join it. And then we're just going to gently squeeze the legs towards the chest. Let's do 2 more breaths, guys. Okay, unwrap the legs. We're going to do that on the other side. So left leg over the right leg. Look, I've got my ankle really just across the thigh there. Fold the legs into the chest. The left hand's going to come through. If you can get it on top, brilliant. If not, just take it behind. Then the other one's going to come round. Link the things together. Gently pull it in. Okay. Let's do a few more breaths, guys. And last one. Okay, so again, this next little gentle stretch we're going to do, I think is a great idea at the end of the workout if you've just got non-specific lower backache. If you've got a spinal issue, then that window of risk is a little bit open with this next one. I wouldn't necessarily advise it. But just general lower backache, it's fine. So we're going to take both legs forwards, yeah. Taking my right arm out to the side with the palm up, the right leg up to 90, the left hand across, and then you're just going to roll that knee across the body as far as you feel comfortable. And if you turn the head and look to the right, you get a nice kind of spiral effect through the body. So right now I'm feeling the stretch to the side of my lower back. Really, I would say it's just above the hip. Yeah, that's where I'm feeling the stretch on this one. Some of you might feel it across the chest here into the shoulders as well if they're tight too. All right, so we're just going to hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's do that on the other side. So we're going to take the arm out to the side. We're going to lift the leg up. Take the other arm across. We're going to roll that knee over and turn the head towards the extended arm. That's the left. And we're just going to hold it here. Taking some very relaxing deep breaths. It doesn't have to be at this point, this whole kind of exhale through the straw thing, but just some easy, relaxing deep breaths. And then we're going to come all the way back into the middle. And let's just bring both legs back into the chest again. We're just going to hug them in here. Okay, and a very gentle little rock from left to right, which we're just going to do for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, guys, well done. Okay, so that would be my go-to workout if I had somebody that had general lower backache, not specific spinal issues. This is a completely different thing, guys, and needs a lot of care and attention. I'm happy to do a stream about any specific spinal issues. We're talking herniations, disc prolapses, bulges, spinal arthritis. There's a whole heap of stuff that totally have to do a stream on this, but this one is not for that. This one is just for general lower backache. All right, guys, thanks for joining the stream, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.